All right, thank you, David, for inviting me. Really, really happy to be here. So let me dedicate this reading to our friend C.G. Martin and Julia Drescher. And I'll read from this little chapter they put together a couple years ago. Pastoral things. Or one writes in the Code, believes he's moving away from abstraction only to enter through the back door. The fear of representation, of going back to representation, that is, to animosity. All the natural phenomena, heavens included, the mysterious quality of action. A mobilization of arguments, a supposed return to the void prior to the project. Fire is the company one keeps. The city, the poem, and in both the nature of human occupation. What awaits is love, as language awaits the terms of its own insertion in the world. If asked, they say words grew bitter. Related words grow bitter too. Alone or in groups, the mind in a landscape. In the corner of the painting, in that right angle, the moon closes the circle. The moon eats her quarters. When needed, crows will remove marginalia. And then just another brief poem. Reads grand dark black masses. Pastoral of things, the range of their movement, some traces of dependency, vast strife of flowers, constant, unchanged. Certain mistakes left open, phrases open, diving into the opacity of that region of the world. In that opacity, touching the land like products without history. An exposition, a series of works on paper, divided just among other things. The inventor of a catalog and the untitled paintings are presented. Even the archetypical force of the mind of among others, from whom change is expected and change from one state to the other, and who lives with those sounds visiting his ears, with those images visiting his ears. Remnants of contact with others without the predominance of action upon process. What survives on the surface, on the softest side of the name, on what will never leave you. Reeds, grand dark black masses, lilies from one shore to the other rocking, a form of life sustained. This is from, which is actually a translation I did into English from my second book, but that's another story. So let's see. And I'll read just two brief passages from a manuscript, which is basically an erasure text with the legal text of the NAFTA agreement, right? So I worked with the whole, legal text in English and in Spanish. I didn't do the French because I don't know French, but there's one for Canada, Mexico. So I did the Spanish and the English, and so I read just a brief passage from it. And a little quote from George Oppen. Possible to use words, provided one treats them as enemies. Not enemies, ghosts, which have run mad in the subways, and of course the institutions and the banks. If one captures them one by one, proceeding, carefully they will restore, I hope, to meaning and to sense. North American Free Trade Agreement, Preamble. Resolved to the harmonious and expansion, distortions, and mutually predict. Each of the preceding have agreed. Salud. Animal includes, means animal, means any stated purpose. Area means a country, area of low pest residues, extraneous matter, means directly or indirectly. It does not mean one regarding the composition regarding animal. Area means an area in which does not occur, while flora means from risk arising from presence carried by an animal. It means methods. For purposes otherwise, including its notes, days means calendar days, means any entity. Existing means into force. Harmonized system means harmonized commodity. National means of origin. Person means state. Capital limits in this, of such, less than that. Capital to exceed capital, not be reduced by. Maximum of which, lesser, as a function of the lesser, evading the capital limits overnight. And just to give you a sense of the Spanish version of the document, are we good on time?
Yeah.
Tratado de Libre Comercio de América del Norte, preámbulo, decididos a armónico a la expansión, distorsiones y mutuo visible, todo lo anterior han acordado. Animal incluye, significa una razón, significa una plaga de la presencia, un método de riesgo, significa animal o en relación a animal. Plaga incluye, significa, otro significa, pero no significa. Zona significa un país, parte de varios países, o todas las partes de varios países. Significa o está presente. De los límites, un capital, el capital, aquel, un, el, al capital, por debajo del capital. Evadir los límites del capital, una noche. And just one of the 2 poems, so from this new chapbook. Read the first one, which is both in English and Spanish, but I kind of rewrote it when I translated it into English. It's kind of the same, but not the same. Comparison with music is perfectible by birds. But Aurelia, first, the mundane history, the arc of action, realism and its constellation of effects, like birds not repeated in the biography. Comparison with music is perfectible by birds, but of the language of paradise, of birds, language following translation, what would you say? Or of the apparent intertwining of plot and detail. Third person did not bring us to transparency. Neither the cut dividing areas of birds from earthly ones insisting this is how it happened. first person did not bring us to transparency. Description of objects was the sky of the century, they say. But what if the sky doesn't end there? If we are wrong and the lyric returns as an act of true realism? Mountains far away at the same time and close. All along that intermination we move over smooth particulars, some more prominent than others. Cows graze on language, commonplace of grass. Pollen is metaphysics in this town, its imprint on particles. We walk moved by urbanism's promise. It's a recurrent theme, we say. This vast outside thick, the poem emancipated from labor, though it surrounds it. On this instance, entire constellation among scattered facts and ferns.